back to that main event. Who do you think is the bigger puncher, Crawford or Madrimov?
Madrimov at 154, unquestionable. Like, I mean, we're yet to see Terence at 154, but I do not believe he carries the same power as Madrimov. I'm sure he can punch, but sooner or later, when you move from 34 to 40 to 47 to 54, you go one step too far. Hopefully, that's Saturday night.
I have to ask, obviously, you yourself, very busy this week, but you know, good thing you have a staff. Anybody keeping an eye on, or maybe hands on deck in Paris to keep an eye out for any?
Yeah, I mean, GB have had a disastrous start. I mean, Delicious Ori lost today as well. Pat Brown, like everybody lost in the early stages. So
Beatrice.
Yeah, Beatrice won today, which
I haven't seen it, nor have I seen a highlight. But what I've seen on my timeline is suggesting that maybe, you know, they pulled a funny one.
Really? That's not what I heard. No, I heard she won a good fight and a great performance. But, you know,
I don't know if it was the scorecards, because I heard it was like a 5-0. Like,
oh, was it? Oh, yeah. No, I heard she won well, but I don't know what the scorecards were. Beatrice is a phenomenal talent. You know, she's a great fighter. I'm going to try and make it out there. I know that Tank's out there and a few other guys are out there. So hopefully next week, hopefully we can get out there next week, and hopefully there's some GB fighters left, but we'll also be looking at some other talent as well.
Speaking of Tank, looks like Lomachenko is taking the rest of the year off. That was the big fight that people were expecting. What are your thoughts on Lomachenko putting away for the
Tank? I think if the deal's not right and he's not really up for it, Lomachenko's that kind of guy that will just go, no, leave it. So he's decided to leave it. It's going to be interesting to see what Tank does next. I guess he'll fight the winner of Pitbull against Rayo this Saturday, but we'll see.
Is that what you see?
Probably, yeah. Last one,
many years ago, you did a show here in LA at the Forum. I don't know if you remember, but you said you would never do a LA show on a Friday night again because, you know, traffic, things like that. I'm just curious, Eddie, I feel like you've had a long way since bringing boxing to America. What's been your biggest takeaway, biggest lesson learned doing business here in the States?
Just that every city, every state is very different. You know, obviously in the UK, what works in London works in Manchester, and what works in Manchester works in Liverpool. Obviously what works in Philly doesn't work in San Diego, and what works in San Diego doesn't work in Chicago. So it's just understanding different fan bases, and also understanding that you have so many great fight cities or sport. Did 17,000, just did 15,000 nearly for Boots against Avanesian, you know, in Phoenix. So I think we need to start looking at these great sports cities and bring in boxing there, but also to make sure that we can build fighters in their hometown, because obviously that's when you're going to get the passion and the great support as well.
Eddie, last question. When it comes down to Jerome Blue Dennis, he's coming Wednesday. Are you going to be putting your foot down like always to get that fight with Terence Crawford and Boots?
Yeah, I think that if Crawford Canelo doesn't get made, then the Boots fight's got potential, but he's got to get past Madrimov first, so don't count your chickens.
That's right.
Thanks,